Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, so you know that's when we talk to our money mindset coach, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Hey, before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to our producer, Miss Francine Gregory, and my partner, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, who's doing things in the background to make big things happen for Biz Chicks. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups. So sit back, relax, and let's get some new information about how to get our mindset for 2020. How you doing this morning, Caren?
Oh, good, 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 good. Good, good. First day back to work and first day here. So, yeah, finally showed my face for the year 2020. Oh my gosh, we're in a new year. Who's excited? I was excited
I'm
before the year's
excited.
gone, but I
And
gotta
I'm
get.
so glad to know that you made your premiere debut for 2020 here on Biz Chicks.
I tell ya, the year is here. I said it last year, and I'm gonna say it again. It start off, and if you're not ready to go with it, it just runs away from you. And you kind of feel like you're trying to keep up. So I don't want you to do that this year. If you did that last year, don't do it this year. Because all we do when we do that is beat ourselves up. If something is happening personally, you need to give yourself the time, give yourself the time. Excuse me. Then once you are over that time, then get into what you need to do. I say that and I do it for myself. I needed some time and I took the time I needed. And so today's my first day back at work, and that's okay because I knew my mind and body needed the time, and you need to give yourself that time. And today we're talking about a time for everything, and it plays into exactly what I'm talking about. There's a time we were born, there's a time we're going to die. I think the first time I actually accept that I'm going to die, yes, it was hard. It was hard to know I'm not going to be here any longer. And, I went through a state of, I don't know, shock, understanding, believing, and getting it really into my being. And the reason that's important is so that you can do the important work that you were sent here to do. So that's
Mm.
why you need to know this stuff. It's going to be frightening. It's going to be scary. It's going to be hard to accept. But once you do, you start working in the understanding of while I'm here, this is what I want to do, and this is what I might want to leave as a legacy. And here's the things I'm going to have to do. I'm going to do things that I must do, the things I don't want to do, the things that seems hard for me to do, but the things I know I have and I must do, no matter how hard they feel. And once I know that, then when I meet those difficult points in my life, I will see it through. So today, I had this verse from a calendar I had says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. And it's so true. It's in the Bible. I don't know if I could pronounce it. I never could pronounce. Sometimes I could pronounce this good and sometimes I can't. Elastices,
Ecclesiastes.
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 Yeah, 3:1, and that's what it talks about. And so there's
Mhm.
work, there's depth, there's this stuff. If we're in business, that's what it is, and we gotta really think about that. So if you're in the beginning, there's no shame in it. If last year you were thinking about all the things you want to do, and even if you had started your business but you feel your business need a refresh, and you're in the beginning, that's the
Mhm.
season you're in. Be there. You got to be there. Don't try to be in the middle because you're going to lose every time. Just be there. Be there. Understand the beginning. The beginning means, yes, if you're in business, a business plan. And that plan don't have to be a book. It just means you're planning out how you want to see your business begin, be, and debate what you want to do with it. And this sometimes you are scared because they're not sure what they want to do. But understand your business enough to understand what you want to see it be and do. So if you're
Ah.
building a business to sell it, build a business to sell it. And if you're building a business because it's a business you want to keep, Then build a business that way. Or build a business where you're like, for the next 90 days, I'm going to decide what that business is going to be. That's okay too, but you need to know that goal post. This is the beginning of the month, and talk a lot about goals this month. And so when
Mm-hmm.
you have that set up, you are working towards something. And if you don't, you are all over the place and scattered. I remember people saying to me, Karen, I can't do stuff like this because either because I got a job or because I don't like to plan things out. I had a client who says this to me, and I said, "So how is it working for you?" And she would just stop and pause, because if you don't plan things out, you are not getting there. You're running on this treadmill, but you're going nowhere. Now, running on a treadmill to lose weight is one thing, but running on a treadmill in your mind is a whole different ballgame, because it really overwhelms you when you do this. And she's been getting coached from me for a while. And I finally say to her, you have to actually do. And if you don't get these three things done, I'm not going to be coaching you anymore. Like, honestly, I had to force her hand. And I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
I did, because I think she called me 2 days later and said, I'm okay, but I had an accident. I said, you just got a wake up call. Like, you had a wake up call because you're on this treadmill and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And she had to make some really big decisions. I got it. But I had to decide that, am I going to keep her on just because
Mm-hmm.
she's paying me? Or am I going to have her do what she's supposed to do so that our work together would be worthwhile for both her and I? Because when I coach people, I also feel obligated, and I feel I want to see the people do well. So when you're not doing well, like, what was the point of hiring me, right? Because this is not only about
Mm-hmm.
money. This is about my reputation. This is about my brand.
Yep. People are looking for results.
Yeah, this is way more than that. And 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 it happened one after the other. And she needed to either stay at the job and set it up, or she needed to find a new job. She wasn't looking to start a business. She needed to find a new job. That's one of the big goals. And the other big goal was she needed to decide where she's going to live, and if she's going to stay in her present circumstances because it was difficult, or she needed to move from that circumstances. And she needed to make those decisions. And while it was very hard to make, she had to make them. And once she did, she was such a happier person. And that was the key. She needed to feel happy in her bones, and she wasn't getting that anymore. Her life was
Mm.
just this constant stress, which causes medication, which causes other side effects from it. And we had to look after that. We had to get that under control. And so you have to know those things for yourself. And I ask people, I beg them, I ask them, I talk about it, I do it for myself. Take the time and the space so that when you're having this specific time, a time for everything, when you're having this time for that beginning of your business, you give it your all. You set your business up and you know what it needs. And if you don't know, you take 90 days and you figure it out, because everything is figure outable. Okay. If you were in business last year and you don't like the business you were in and you're wondering, should I stay in it? Give yourself the time to decide if you want to get out. It's never too late to get out of it. Man, I wrote how many businesses ideas that I actually had, worked, moved, didn't, like, tons. But guess what? Some businesses last me a day, some was 7 days old, and some businesses never made it past the thinking phase. And I dropped it because it wasn't what I want to do. My business structure depends on time, not only money, depend on time, energy that it takes from me, and the
Mm-hmm.
money. And if those things don't line up the way I see my brand, then it doesn't get done, even sometimes when it's profitable, because it would take too much time and energy away from me. I have patterned my life a certain way. I don't mind changes, but I don't want it to the detriment of my others. So that's important to me. So you need to find out what's important to you so you can work properly in that time. And keep in mind where you want to go
Mm-hmm.
consistently. I'm going to say that. Keep in mind where you want to go consistently. If you're like me, you love watching HGTV, you see people buy houses other places, they live in one place. They might went to the Caribbean and buy a place, went to South America and buy a place. Those people could not buy those places unless they were planning for it. They
Mm,
were saving, investing towards it.
that's
And
true.
so when you see people, they work very hard to get themselves there. And so now we are watching them enjoy the fruits of their labor. And that's what you have to see in your business. You have to see your business as this goalpost that you're working towards. Nobody, imagine this, right? Let me take a brief pause here. You're in primary school, to go that far back, and your teacher gives you something to do, you are excited when you know what the end results is. You're excited if you're going on the bus trip. You're excited if you're going and see, let's say you're doing a science project and now you get into the science center to go see it in a larger scale. You're excited to work towards it. And that's what we have to keep in mind for our businesses. We have to make it exciting. We have to make it so exciting that we want to go and have it. The Biz Chicks always say, have a business that is fun to run. And
Yes.
that slogan is like the best. I say it to people all the time. I'm like, the best slogan ever, the best tagline. Because when you're excited, you want to do. Nobody, even the introverts or the people who's like humdrum, even though we
Uh-huh.
don't see their excitement outside, like mine is very visible, they want to still feel excitement. They really still want to feel excitement. One of the things in 2018 or 17, I think I start analyzing my friendships that I have. And
Mm.
the majority, over time, I realized I really attract a lot of introverts, a lot of people who don't really, is bubbly like myself. But the reason I think they're drawn towards me is because of who I am. So I didn't even notice, like, until we were in situations where I'm like, what are you guys doing? Everybody's like waiting on me. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And I recognize what happened. So even when somebody's quiet and they're not like I am, they still want to feel that. So if you're an introvert and you're listening to this, know that I know that you still want to feel excited, but you have to set the stage. You really do have to set the stage, and you
Mhm.
have to understand what time you're in and be there. That's the most important thing. Be in that time.
Mhm. Okay, so here we are. When you say be in that time, you mean be present in
Be
what you're
present.
doing?
Yeah, be present.
So what if you woken up and it's 2020 and you really just don't know what it is you want to do?
If
And
you're
if
now
you're
starting
talking
your
about having a business plan,
and it doesn't have to scare you. I talk about this before. Business plans, 3 pages, 1 page business plan. It doesn't have to be scary. You're really just writing. I always encourage people, if you never done a business plan, and because you're not looking for money and it's just for you, just write a letter to yourself explaining to you what is it you want to do. And then
mm-hmm.
explain to yourself how you want to see it set up. And the third part is explaining to yourself how you're going to make money from this venture. This part, if you're creative and you enjoy all the intricate part, this is the part
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to deal with, is the money. But you need to know. And you need to know how much money you want to make. If
Mm-hmm.
you've been if your mind has always been how much money I need, then when you have to look upon money as all the money I want, it becomes hard. Because if you're paying your mortgage or your car, or those are paid off, and you're just living to eat and wear what you want, it's kind of a harder drive for yourself sometimes to see and understand that you can have money you want. Money just allow more freedom. It allow you to pick up yourself and go and do the things you want to go, places you want to go and see. So if you
Mm-hmm.
had a dream to see a certain place, you can book that time and go, and you don't have to worry. That's what money really allows, the freedom. Yes, we give it to charity. Yes, we pay tithes. Yes, we do all that stuff. But it really allow you to feel free. It allow you to feel like you're not waiting. Like my son is telling me about this girl who's waiting to take a trip, and she's waiting on the ticket price to drop, and there's some nonsense with a bunch of people waiting to see. Anyway, she's waiting to the ticket
For the sale to start.
to start, and so that will dictate if she can go, what's going to happen at work, and all these other things going to be affected. So she's like on pins and needles. If she had the freedom, that would not be an issue. She'd book her ticket and she'd know she's going where she's going. I'm not saying she shouldn't get the sale. What I'm saying is she has to coordinate, he told me, about 5 to 7 things to be able to make this possible. It is crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy to me in my mind, right? But it's,
Well,
and part
well,
of
for
her is
those
feeling crazy.
people, yeah, for those people who are working for an employer, there are a lot of factors that have to come together often so that they can take that time.
Yes,
And when you haven't been working for an employer for a long time, it feels different.
yes, it does. It does.
But
Now, she had
there's
just got,
so many people that have to approve it.
right?
Doesn't work for everybody else
Right?
because you have to have somebody to cover you.
Hmm.
How many sick days do you have, or how many
Right?
vacation days? All of these factors, and then the planning for the trip.
Yes, right. And then if somebody, like in my daughter's case, if somebody call in sick, then your vacation get yanked from you. And then you're like, so I told him, I said to her, she needed to get the time and book the ticket. This waiting around can cause her buying the ticket and then still not getting permission to leave. Or she can leave, but she mightn't have a job when she comes
Yeah.
the craziest thing. But again, if it seems sad or whatever he was telling me that it looks like, I said it's because it was never planned. You understand? She planned it for the sale, but she didn't plan the other things. So now she's scrambling for the other things. And I'm just mentioning a stranger. But that's what happens also in a lot of us business owners. We might start it
Hmm.
as a hustle. And it's okay to start at a hustle. Man, I believe in the hustle, okay? But once you are understanding, once you say, my hustle is selling peanuts, your job is to write down everything about peanuts that you know. And then your job is to go and research everything about peanuts that you don't know.
Mm.
And then once you do that, then your job, the next step is to understand the money with the peanuts. Because if you don't, you can sell $1 million worth of peanuts but not make any money. And it sounds crazy, but you might be doing that. You might be spending more money that you understand. I can't tell you, Terry, how many times I've had people who say to me, I'm making $15 an hour. And after our conversation, they realize that they're making about $9, $8 if they're lucky an hour. Because once we consider travel time, once we consider gas or public transportation, which keep rising, they starting to understand. Am I really making X amount of dollars? And this is what happens. When they figure that out, then they realize that the budget never gets to work. Their budget never gets to work because they're not making enough to make the budget work. And I finally was talking to somebody who had, finally checked out, and she had a shortfall of $1,200 a month. And that's simply because she was so afraid initially to look at the budget, so afraid to check in with the dollars that was really coming in to support her lifestyle, to support her family. So these are the things that we have to pay attention to. We have to take that time and pay attention to it. I like to say our lives is like a business. Terry uses as dating. And so if you were to take stock of your life and understand the time you're in, the frame you're in, what you need to do, and you were to kind of structure it as a business, when you actually get into business, it's almost, as I always say, it's an extension of you. So you're just leaning over to more profitability. Hopefully, once you set it out right, you're leaning towards more profitability. Now, all this I understand, all this has to do with you accepting or wanting to program your mind to do things differently. Because if it's not working for you, you need to figure out how to do it differently. And that means you have to change the way you think about things. You have to be able to get out of your comfort zone. You have to be where you need to be at the moment. You got to be present. You got to consistently be present. And I got to tell you, I understand being consistently present is not an easy task when you first start, but it's doable. If you need to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and that's the goal you want to reach,
Okay.
and that's the goal you want to reach, and right now you're getting up at 7 in the morning, then your job is to get up at 6:30, not 4 o'clock, at 6:30. You give yourself a week or 3 weeks, whatever that timeline you need. And then you need to get up at 6, and then at 5:30, and then at 5 o'clock until you get yourself to 4 o'clock. If you rush and get to 4 o'clock, you're going to beat you up. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel tired in the middle of the day, and you will think you can't carry on. By the way, you can, but your body will tell you, I don't want to go forth because it's used to being and waking up whenever it feels like it. When
Mm-mm.
you do things when you feel like it, you don't really get very far. You can't do it when you feel like it. You got to always do it. You got to do it when you're not seeing results. You got to do it when it seems like it's not going to pay you off. You got to do it when everybody tells you that that's not what's going to make you any money. If you knew and you sat and did the things I talked about before, you're going to have to do it. All the naysayers, those people are just jealous because they didn't have the gut to do what you do. That's all that is. Don't worry, it's on them.
Mm.
That's what they're watching at. And they're watching you. And when you do get over that hump and you get to that consistency part and that focus, they will eventually ask you how you did it. Everybody asks the people how they do something where they are now. Those people who are willing to go through doing it, they're asking those people or they talk about those people constantly. And they say, I wish I could do that. There's nothing to wish for. There's nothing to be lucky for. Like you get up and you do it and your luck appear. You get up and you show up and your luck appear. But you got to be there. You can be. I think the first time I also understood, that you got to live for today and not tomorrow was another part of me that didn't understand it until I understood it. And it doesn't mean you don't plan. It just means that you've sat down and you plan everything out, but each day you live that day tremendously, productively, beautifully. And productivity don't always mean you're at the hammer. Productivity is a tricky thing. You can be very productive by just quietly looking after you that day because you're taking care of your mind, you're giving it the rest it might need, you're giving it a chance to process things that you're always in a hurry, you're not able to process. And so you're being very productive that day. Now, what would make you unproductive is if you spend the whole week and you don't actually put anything into action. Then you just kick yourself in the heel, but you're going to have to take some action after. You're going to really have to, because when you're busy, 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 you don't get time to rest your brain to give it a chance to do what it's supposed to do. And I can tell you this because I used to go to school full time, work 2 full-time jobs, 7 days a week. I was a crazy woman, let me just tell you. And I had a little side gig.
Yep. Been there, done that.
You're right. But you see, we
Mm-hmm.
had our seasons for that. So once you've experienced that, don't try to get back in that crazy roundabout, even when things are hard for you. And I want to really address this little part before I go. Even when things are hard for you, because this is the part that I always get where somebody will always say to me, "But Karen, you don't know how hard life is for me." No, I don't. I'm not going to pretend I do. I do. Because
Mm-hmm.
you never know how life hard was for me. So I'm not going to pretend. I'm not playing that game. I'm just saying, if you sit and you give yourself the time, you will find solution that has nothing to do with a merry-go-round. Because we've all been there. And if you're this part in your life, if you're in your 40s or your 50s, you've been a few merry-go-round, a little bit of seesaw, up and down, and slide like crazy. You did. So now that you've been there, your job is to investigate why you did it, how you did it. And then you need to plan not to do it again because as you get older, you don't have as much energy to put into the merry-go-round. So you want to put the energy, to focus the consistency in the right place at the right time. And you want to pay attention to that. So if you broke, as I said this before, if you broke, you admit it. I am broke. I don't have any money. I got $20 in my account. I don't know what's going to do for me. And then you start, once you admit it, the next thing is to ask the question, what can $20 now do for me? And allow
Mm-hmm.
yourself to answer the question. Be willing and open. Start being grateful for what is present. That's why I love my journals. Get into the present moment. Maybe you need to know an hour in a journal. Yeah, it sounds crazy like a long time, but trust me, you'd spend that whole hour feeling guilty and sad and all kind of stuff. Why not take that hour and just journal in that moment? What's happening? What feelings had brought up? What it makes you feel like? Why are you feeling this way? And then once you do, how can I get past this? And allow whatever is coming to be written. Allow it to come out. Get rid of. Allow it to flow out. I tell you, when you do this after a few days, you will be always, always, no matter how small, surprised at yourself. Just surprised at yourself constantly in what you bring forth. Now, you might say to me, and I've had people say, I bring forth a bunch of garbage. Fine, you're getting rid of the garbage. Now, there's time to get the other stuff out. Because if you're so deep in, there's a lot of things that you got to go through to get you to the place you really want to be. And it's a journey.
Oh my goodness. I never thought of it that way. I just never thought of it that way. That's remarkable. Hey, Brenna. Hi, Nora. How
Hi,
you doing?
Brianna.
Thanks for
Hi,
tuning
ladies.
in.
Happy New Year. Welcome back.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and this year I am just pushing and hoping. You guys know I've been working on my 4-hour workday program, and a
Mm-hmm.
very dear friend of mine has been working through parts of it, and she was like, Caren, when you say it, I was so mad. Part of me was so mad, but you're like, how the hell am I going to do all this stuff in in 4 hours? What the wrong with you? But
Exactly.
yeah, but she has. This is her second month, and she's not even actually doing the work yet for her program. But this is the second month, and because she started in December, and she's finally put it on paper, whereas she can see herself. We're trying to bring her to. She wants to work just 4 days a week, not 5. And so far, we're seeing 5 hours a day, 4 days a week, and she can do it. That's just because she believed, she was willing to work through some really difficult stuff. And yes, this was one-on-one we were working, but I had allowed her because she wanted a journey. So I had allowed her to just see all the things that she make excuses for, and all the things that she thinks she has to carry. That was not true. And she has just been flipping those things out like crazy. But yes, she had to did a lot of journaling. She spent a lot of time mostly on not the work of her business, but the work of herself. And because she's
Mm.
been doing a lot of self-realization, and because we've been doing a lot of, it's not tangible if you were seeing it, but it's tangible when we talk about it because the difference is there. I mean, she see how much work that was unnecessary, that was just there. And because she was so used to it being there, she was allowing it to be there. And it did need to be there. So now once she clears things off and it's off the table, next month for sure. And we started little bits of her program already, but next month for sure, she could really get to that 4-hour goal. She's I think this year, this year, of course, this year it was like, she sent me the stuff saying I could actually do it. But this year, she's actually, see, 2020, it says, I can actually do the 4 hour. I could actually do the 4. I could only see the 5, but I know I can do the 4 because we're going to clear some other things off and we're going to stick to the 4. And yes, maybe for the next 90 days, when she do the 4, it's going to feel hard and difficult because we have to get rid of a lot of stuff. We had to get rid of a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. One of the stuff we had to get rid of, what I just spoke on with the days, we get up early in the mornings. because it was difficult for her because it's something she didn't do. She got up when the body woke her up. And even though it was nice, it was not allowing her day to be as productive as it could be. And then because she's not allowing that, she opened doors and allow other people to come in that didn't need to be in there. And that's what we do. Unknowingly, we open a window, we open a crack, we open several doors, and they just usher themselves in. And we're like, well, we got to help them because I mean, if we don't, who is gonna? Lies, but we tell ourselves it and we do it. And it's never just a big deal that we're doing. That's why we don't notice we're doing it. It's just like a crumb from a cake, a sip of water. It's so subtle that by the time we realize how many people have infringed on us, we're like, holy crap.
Oh my goodness, it's just so true. It is so true, and we all do it.
Yes.
We
I have
all
to keep
do it, or
checking
we
on
all
me.
have done it.
I have to check on me. As I
Hmm.
will tell you guys this, I have to steadily check on me. I have to. Budget is not only about money. I have to budget my time, and I have to really check on me because sometimes I get caught up in the same web. One thing I haven't gotten good about doing though is calling back up the person and say, "Hey, I did say yes, but it's not going to work out. I over budget my time. I'm sorry." Yep, I over budget my time. I just have to. I have to just bow out. It wouldn't work. And people mostly try to convince me how it can. And I said, I understand.
Yes,
It's not going to happen.
and you do. You really have to stand up for yourself,
Hmm.
because they will insist that you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I can do all things, but I am not doing this. It comes in crumbs. Yes, it does, Francine. It's the little things,
Hmm.
little foxes that
Yes. Oh,
spoil the
they're
vine.
so sneaky, aren't they? They're
You
so
know.
sneaky.
Mhm. And this is why we always say, don't forget to go to the front of your
One
own
of your
line,
own
because we're
line.
so used to letting everybody go ahead of us.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of times we have these little um, things in our mind telling us, well, if you do that, then you're selfish. The things that we were told as children.
Yes.
You're just selfish. You need to share everything with your sister. Wait a minute. She had the same amount as I did. We all started together. She ate hers, and now I got to share.
Right?
Okay, that's a whole nother story, people.
Right? Hey, area.
I'm just saying that these are the things that we don't realize are affecting how we're reacting to people now.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And so, if you want to work through those things, you need to call Coach Caren.
Oh man.
Because these things are affecting the money in your business, your personal life, as well as your business life.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, Karen. Wow. You you just uproot all kind of emotions when you talk to us. All the things that affect our money. Yeah, because they all affect our money.
It
Our
does.
willingness to make money, our willingness to receive money,
Hmm.
our willingness to believe that it's okay to receive money,
Exactly.
to move beyond just survival
Hmm.
into, prosperity and
Yes.
abundance.
Abundance.
Wow.
Abundance is the pot overflowing. And 2020, if you want to take the ride, I tell you, it's gonna be really sweet.
All right. Well, we are just so happy to have had you drop in today. And always, you come with such wonderful nuggets of wisdom.
Thank
So we thank you for that. And we're looking forward to hearing more about your 4-hour work week
you. Work day.
program,
Work day.
work day. Look,
Yeah.
I'm going to reduce it to a week. For our work day program, which is 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
We're going from 40 to 20, guys, in 20. Oh,
Mhm.
40 to 20 and
It's
20.
ready.
Okay.
Woo, I like that. I like
Yes, so we're looking forward to hearing more about it. And if people are interested in it, where can they sign up?
I don't have a sign. I do have a sign up form actually. When I come back next week, I'll bring it and give it to Fran earlier so she can have it scroll up and put in there. But yeah.
Okay. We
Absolutely.
look forward to it.
Okay.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll be joined by Robin Shimizu and friends for Happy Healthy Habits with Robin
Mhm.
Shimizu. And we're looking forward to that. And of course, on Friday, we talk tech in English. So, guys, set aside some time to talk tech with us in English. Caren, we're so happy to have you here to start the new year off in a big way. And we're looking forward to hearing more from you. We love you and we look forward to another money mindset, what would you say, session with you next Wednesday.
Thanks, Lily,
It's just,
always for having me.
no, we love you. So remember, guys, don't forget to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.